In this video, I'd like to look at some transformations that result from introducing negative signs into our toolkit functions. If we take a negative sign and we introduce it to the input of a function, this will result in a horizontal reflection. The graph of that function will be flipped across the y-axis. If we apply a negative sign to the output function, just outside the function in general, this will result in a vertical reflection where the graph is flipped across the x-axis. It all depends on the placement of the negative sign. Let's look at two quick examples. First, we want to sketch the graph of negative x cubed. In this case, the negative sign is outside the function. This will result in a vertical reflection. So we look at the graph of the toolkit function y equals x cubed as shown here, and to correctly show the transformation, we want to take each point and reflect it vertically across the x-axis. So instead of having the point 1, 1 as shown in the toolkit function, we will now have the point 1, negative 1. And instead of having this point negative 1, negative 1, we will now have the point negative 1, positive 1. So this entire picture is going to get flipped upside down. Here's the graph of f of x equals negative x cubed. But in our second example, we are applying a negative sign to the input of a function, which is going to result in a horizontal reflection. Looking at our toolkit function y equals the square root of x, we have some points noted there. If I want to sketch the graph of this new function, the square root of negative x, I'm going to take each of those points and I'm going to reflect them horizontally across the y-axis. So instead of the point 1, 1 as shown, I'm going to make the x value negative, so we have negative 1, 1. And instead of the point 4, 2, I now have the point negative 4, 2. Here is a sketch of the graph of the square root of negative x.